Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Marlo and welcome back to a trade recap. Well, today unfortunately we took a loss. And I won't lie to you guys, I kind of married my bias today. I think that was like the major mistake that I made. But fortunate enough for me, I didn't go high risk on this trade. So I ended up only losing 500 and something dollars. I know yesterday I said I'm only going to risk 400, but my stop loss was a little bit loose. So yeah. Well, I've had the chance to make money today, so like why the fuck wouldn't have I done that, right? So yeah, let's go to charts, see what happened, but before we do that, I just want to tell you guys that uh, in trading, losses will be involved. And I know I was only one trade away of actually passing my eval, but I am still in the same position that I was today because I'm still one trade away of actually passing this eval. And I'll do this shit tomorrow for sure. So, let's go to charts, see what happened, and yeah, let's go through this shit. Well, today my bias was bearish. We could see here on the 4-hour time frame. Let me see if we still made the same SMT divergence. Uh, nah, but let me rewind this shit. Let me rewind this shit a little. So let's go in the market open and let's see what actually happened today. Well, when market opened, I saw that we swept London session highs on Nasdaq and on S&P 500. We inversed this 5-minute gap to the downside on ES, creating this equal low with this hourly low, while Nasdaq was the more bullish index. And yeah, unfortunately for me, I ended up taking the trade on the more bullish index. That was another mistake that I don't really know, because Nasdaq could have had the chance to go lower, because yeah, you'll just see. Well, we broke 5-minute structure on Nasdaq first, then we inversed this whole gap to the downside on ES, creating this SMT divergence from. Oh, we didn't. I'm sorry. So yeah, I basically wanted this low to be swept, which we did. We swept this low out, creating a SMT divergence. Now with Nasdaq created a higher high and ES created a lower high. We made a hourly SMT divergence. This is where I lacked, because I married my bias because of that 4-hour. Let me show you, because I think I didn't. Because of this 4-hour SMT divergence, here we made a higher high, while on ES we stayed well below this and we created a lower high. So I believed that we are going to go lower. We had this hourly gap right here on right here. Let me show this shit to you. Oh, it was a 4-hour. Sorry. We had this 4-hour gap right here on ES and on Nasdaq, and we were already reacting off of this. So yeah, right after this, Nasdaq continued to print a little bit lower, while ES broke 5-minute structure to the upside. And I thought this is only going to be a SMT divergence, because we created a lower high while ES created a higher high. So I thought, well, we did this, and now we inverse these two gaps to the downside, these two 1-minute gaps to the downside on both indices, S&P 500 and Nasdaq, and I was like, okay, we would have no reason to actually inverse these two gaps if we didn't really want it to go lower. Unfortunately, we created an S&T divergence. We created a lower low on ES while creating a higher low on S&P 500, and we smacked through these gaps, stopping me out. And then this is what happened. I hit stop loss, and right after ES took out this high right here, I said that I'm not going to trade. I should have traded, because right after this happened, of course, Nasdaq made almost a equal high with this. We broke 1 minute structure back to the downside. We reacted off of this 5 minute fair value gap. We filled it, and then we broke 1 minute structure to the upside. I watched charts right here. I was still watching charts off of my phone, but I said, bro, I'm not going to take shit because I said so. I could have took this trade. In fact, I could have took longs, because obviously today was a bullish day, but I didn't. And it is what it is. Well, I still reinforced good habits today, I believe. When I said that I'm going to stop trading, I did stop trading. Well, let's imagine this shit. Right after we got out of our position, let's say I would have went high risk on this shit. Let's say I would have risked 20 contracts on this, 20 micros, and let's say I would have gotten into this shit right here. My stop loss would have been huge, and mind you, I already lost almost $600 today. So, like, the most that I could have risked were these $600 right here. And yes, I would have smacked my first TP, but I would have only secured like $600 off of this, or yeah, $600. Stop loss would have been a break even. I would have gotten stopped out, and then of course this shit would have gotten into my take profit. But let's say I would have let this shit rock for a little. Could have I lost another $1,400? Hell no. Could have I gotten lower on the risk? Hell no, because I would have already hit my daily drawdown. So really, there was almost like nothing I could have get done today. Yeah, I shouldn't have married my bias. I shouldn't have wanted shorts when we created that SMT divergence and we were reacting off of a 4-hour gap, but this was the mistake that I made today. I should have been more locked in. I should have seen that this shit was happening, and I should have only gotten to the right setup, because our first setup wasn't the right one. We were bullish on the 5 minute on ES, so like, what the fuck? Why did I get into that? I don't know. But yeah, this is what happened today. This is how I lost $580, I believe, almost $600. So like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I know I'll get my get back tomorrow, but it is what it is. Well, yeah, I'm going to wrap up this video right here. I made this video so you guys don't make the same mistakes that I make. And what can I say, bro? Tomorrow we're going to fucking full port this account. Well, we got $1,400 to risk tomorrow. So like, yeah, that is going to be it. If I'm not going to see the right setup, of course I'm not going to take shit. But we'll see what actually happens tomorrow. But yeah, I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for staying up until this point in this video. Thank you for analyzing my loss, and I'll actually see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow's title will be "We passed our first eval." So yeah, I'm going to see y'all guys tomorrow. Bye.